What do you think will happen sooner? Drones delivering food and groceries at our doorsteps? Or drones delivering medical aid in a remote tribal village in Jharkhand? Yes, our wants will be met much before the needs of our underprivileged, even though we all know what's more important. People choose problems based on how lucrative they are, not how important they are. So, if we really want people to work on important problems, we have to make them more viable to be worked upon. More than 175 million Indians are living below the poverty line, and about 60 million of them live in extreme poverty. But unlike many other countries, India's economy has grown a lot in recent decades, and our expenditure budget has tripled just in the last 10 years to touch 30 lakh crores now. So while economic progress has already pulled crores out of poverty, with the resources that we have now in India, for the first time ever, we have a real chance to eradicate economic poverty within our generation. But development problems are also very complex, wicked as they are called, since there are too many connected tissues and external variables. There are no right or wrong solutions, just better or worse. And hence, we want the best talent to come forward and work on them. People are the starting point for all action. Theory of change, strategy, funds, culture, impact all come after. Development work requires talent in all shapes and forms. We want grassroots workers who understand communities, entrepreneurs, senior executives, engineers, young people with a lot of energy and optimism, retired executives with wisdom and experience, professionals from finance and management backgrounds, everyone. Unfortunately, this talent flow isn't happening at the speed or the scale we need. There are two big barriers. The first and the biggest one is low salary levels. Development sector is amongst the lowest paying sectors, if not the lowest paying sector. Salaries in the development sector in India are behind many African counterparts because a lot of the development work there is funded by global agencies, and need for talent is already appreciated by them. The second is information asymmetry that leads to perceptual barriers. I often get asked if we have full time staff at the Nudge and if they get paid. When people think of the social sector, they see it as a voluntary ecosystem of do gooders. Most people don't know that it can even be a potential career choice. Poor understanding of development landscape and what it has to offer beyond job satisfaction, learning opportunities, growth opportunities, and even exit opportunities from this sector is a big hindrance. So, how do we move the sector to a far better place for talent? Firstly, we have to build appreciation of the need to pay talent better amongst the payers and funders of this work. HNIs, foundations, CSR, each donor segment can contribute in their own way here and help inch salaries up. HNIs and foundations should build comfort within to pay more unrestricted, more overheads, and capacity grants. Good news here is that it's already happening in the global development ecosystem as well as in India. Orgs like Ford, Omidyar have made public announcements as they have made these positive changes in their approach. CSR ecosystem is new and there is room for it to move from short-term grant cycles to longer-term commitments, moving from efficiency to effectiveness and offering more room for NGO overheads and also facilitating corpus donations which they can. We also have to build a much more supportive social entrepreneurship ecosystem for NGO entrepreneurs. We have a fast improving environment of mentoring and support through incubators and accelerators. We do some of this work at the Nudge Center for Social Innovation, NSR Cell at IIM Bangalore, Edelgive, Unlimited, and many others have also been doing very good work for much longer. What's probably missing is scale models for such support, like online startup schools for social entrepreneurship. We also lack a thriving venture philanthropy ecosystem for early stage nonprofits in India. Globally, we have models like Big Bang Philanthropy specifically solving for this. We need to find similar solutions for India. Venture philanthropy funds, trust and giving circles for HNIs, angel networks are all opportunities. To reduce information asymmetry, development sector orgs have to come forward and work across many different areas. One, there is a need for a very strong job and careers portal in the sector, just like we have dedicated career platforms for technology professionals, women, blue collar workers, management graduates, etc. While there are some upcoming solutions from Earth and Barefoot, there's nothing very strong yet filling this gap effectively. Secondly, due to COVID, mainstream media covered the work of the development sector a lot last year, and it really put spotlight on this. But there is a lot more continued engagement that we need with mainstream media over years to reach a point where talent really understands the space and this work. Thirdly, development sector orgs should embrace existing digital media platforms a lot more to change the narrative. Whether it is platforms like LinkedIn for employer branding and talking about purpose and culture, to information platforms like Glassdoor to share more about how the organization is run. Also, as development sector, we need to welcome external talent at all levels. At the entry level, orgs like TFI have done amazing work in bringing talent into the sector, and it's expanded into a very thriving ecosystem of fellowships, yatras, and apprenticeships. But at mid to senior levels, there's a lot more room. Corporate sabbaticals, executive fellowships like the Indian Administrative Fellowship we just launched in Karnataka, talent crossover support through exposure models like ILSS, or executive search organizations like Crossover Consulting, they are all much needed and should be supported to scale fast. Formal education models for the talent are also just starting to pick up with ISDM, ILSS, ISD, who are all in their early days, and we need to make formal education in the sector a very integral part of higher education system. At a societal level, we need to build a much higher appreciation for this work, a bit like how we respect our freedom fighters from earlier generations and the people serving in the armed forces even now. Unless we place value in people doing this work, we won't get people to come forward and contribute and help us build a better society for all. So as development sector, if we want to see large scale impact and solve for poverty within our lifetimes, we have to carry this shared responsibility to value talent, invest in talent, take pride in our talent, and together make development sector a viable, potentially the coolest way to spend one's life on.